Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Lenovo Slim Pro 9i 16-inch model for 2023. So unlike the 14 or 14.5-inch model that I previously unboxed, this isn't just larger with regard to screen size and of course the physical weight of the product, but we're also getting more power to both the CPU and GPU. So a quick rundown of specifications before I take this out of the box, and of course, in full disclosure as usual, this was furnished to me by Lenovo for review purposes. We've got an Intel 13th Gen Core i9 processor. To be exact, it is the 13905H, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, an Nvidia RTX 4050 with 6 gigs of VRAM. And by the way, the key difference between the GPUs in the 16-inch and 14-inch models, 100 watts of TGP as opposed to 80 watts in the smaller 14-inch model. Windows 11 Home, a 16-inch mini LED, at least on the review unit I have here, with touch capability, clocked at 165 hertz in terms of that variable refresh rate. So that's another advantage to the 16-inch model as opposed to the 14, which is, I believe, 120 hertz, but still a gorgeous mini LED display is what I anticipate we'll see in a moment. 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, that is a Gen 4 drive, just like in the 14-inch model. Great I/O that you'll see in a moment. A 5 megapixel IR capable camera. That means Windows Hello, of course, is going to work. And that pretty much rounds things out. So let's go ahead and get this open. And pretty much like all of the review units that I get from Lenovo, someone has already opened this. So even though I'm breaking a seal right now, this is not the first time that this machine has been opened, used, etc. Just for those of you that are curious, because often people tell me when I do unboxings that, well, this is not the first time it's been opened because they can see, and yes, you're right, but it's not the first time that I am opening it, which is the only relevant part to this unboxing. So, one thing you do need to know about the 16-inch model is that even though it is still a thin and lightweight monster, if you will, because it is, or at least it should be, but we are not going to see that 140-watt Type-C power brick that comes with the 14-inch model. So if that matters to you, be aware you will be working instead with a 170-watt adapter, or brick, I should say, that has Lenovo's proprietary charging port type. So this is something that will matter to some, won't matter to others, but still something I think everyone should be aware of. So moving right along, let's get the power brick out of the way. Essentially 50% charge within 30 minutes, just like the 14-inch model per Lenovo. And again, this is still thin and light. It's under 5 pounds, I think 4.85 to be exact, but you know, that's a lot when compared to the 14-inch model, if you ask me. So, same exact storm gray color. And yeah, definitely a lot heavier, but still really lightweight for what, you know, we're getting in this package for a 16-inch Ultrabook, because that really is, again, the form factor when you think about, you know, the actual size of this machine and the fact that it's so thin, because it is. I mean, the fact that I can, you know, one-hand it pretty much still tells you what you need to know, but really nice, pretty much all aluminum build quality here, at least the top and bottom deck, and the fact that we have 32 gigs of RAM out of the box, I mean, is ideal. Apparently, it powered on for me immediately. I haven't even gone over the I/O yet. We'll do that right now. I was kind of surprised. High gloss finish on that display for anyone that was wondering. So let's go ahead and just do a quick tour around this machine. As you can see, we've got a privacy shutter right there for that 5 megapixel camera, power button with LED indicator, full-size SD card slot, a Type A USB port right there. On the back of the machine, clean, just a hinge. Coming around to the other side, you're looking at your power port, again for that proprietary charger, 170-watt brick. Type A port, HDMI out, that is a full-size HDMI, 2.1, and then you have a Thunderbolt 4 port and a headphone microphone 3.5mm combo jack. And that's pretty much it. Speakers all around. This actually has 2 more speakers than the 14-inch model, so audio should be better. An even larger touchpad, if you were, or trackpad, if you were wondering. And again, we are working with that mini LED display, which at least at first glance is gorgeous. Now, I am seeing on my preview monitor some flicker there. Let's go ahead and see where brightness is at right now. Almost all the way up. Take it down. Now, I can assure you I am not seeing that in person, but I am seeing it, as all of you are, on camera, and that's because of the refresh rate of my FX3. So, keys, as usual, nice travel, solid build. This has basically, I think, the I/O that everybody would be looking for. Battery life, I'm not sure, but we're probably going to see, I mean, right now it's at 83%. It's estimating 2.25. I think Lenovo, again, the specifications are going to yield somewhere between 6 and 8 hours of battery life. It may be less. It's all going to be a matter of use case. Let me go ahead and change the view here so that you have a direct point of view with this. And really, this is the machine you'll want if the 14-incher is, again, too small for your needs. If you're looking for something larger, this is going to deliver it. Excuse my repositioning of the camera here, trying to give all of you the best angle possible. Wish I could do something, to get this even wider here. But remember, this is just the unboxing. Let me see if I can bring it back even more. Yeah, that'll do it, right? If I bring it to there. So, not sure what's going to happen to my audio, but either way, now you've got the entire machine in frame, and I can assure you, again, that what's going on with the display on screen is not happening in person. So, and in my update, who knows, changing the refresh rate, we'll probably do it. Let's go ahead and just take a look right now. And this trackpad is gigantic. I have no other way of putting or explaining that, because it is just so large. If I go ahead and jump into the display settings, you can see it is a hopefully you can see it is a 3200 by 2000 resolution with this mini LED that gets up to over 1200 nits of brightness. Again, peak. That's absolutely insane. And this is, a highly color accurate panel as well. So for those of you that prefer OLED displays like me, mini LED picks up the slack very quickly. In fact, some people prefer it. I'm not one of them, but still, it's definitely good to have. 10-bit panel, as you can see. We are currently at 60 hertz, so that's probably why. Let's go ahead and set that to 165, and apparently it can run the 165 regardless of the fact that we are not connected to the power brick. Now, that hasn't changed anything in what you're seeing on screen, but again, I can assure you I am not seeing that in person. And again, from a brightness standpoint, we are right now at about 50%. If I take it all the way up to peak, it will just be totally blown out. And that's exactly what happens. But it looks good. I mean, again, I'm more partial to the smaller build, because to me, once you're getting up to this size, I would rather have something a couple pounds heavier that's going to give me full throttle performance. But if I were looking for this size, sans 2 pounds, which is exactly what this delivers, this is still going to be ideal for so many of you, because it's going to deliver pretty much bleeding edge performance for, again, a sub 5 pound machine. And you're not going to sacrifice screen real estate, since you have a high resolution 16 by 10 mini LED panel that's color accurate, 165 hertz. I mean, whether you want to game with this or just do photo video editing, it's a workstation that can really do both. And that's the beauty of the Slim 9i in both the 14 and 16-inch models. Remember that 5 megapixel webcam up at the top is IR capable, so Windows Hello is a go. And we do have that X Pro performance power management, something I'll talk about when I get to my full review. But I really like this machine. This trackpad is just so big. I don't even know what to say about it. The only thing we're missing is a pen, right? But this is not a convertible. Remember, the screen goes 180, just like the 14-inch model. That is where you're going to, end, but really nice. I mean, the aesthetic, cosmetic on this is excellent. Not too heavy on branding. You got that Lenovo logo, but that's pretty much it. And just an all-business machine that really can do it all. And if I flip to the bottom, not that you're going to need to upgrade this, because you're not. I mean, 32 gigs of RAM out of the gate means that you aren't going to be seeking a RAM upgrade anytime soon, in my opinion. And I just really appreciate that Lenovo made that leap, because machines like this, of course, traditionally, historically, if they did even have a GPU, the wattage was so low, it wasn't worth considering. Throttling happened so quickly. Here, as long as we don't get throttled with this 100-watt TGP, and higher wattage, of course, going to the CPU as well, this is probably going to benchmark really well for a 4050 and a thin and light. And remember, this goes up to, I believe, a 4070, which would be ideal, and best of both worlds, again, with that 100-watt power. So really interesting for those of you who want gaming, or I should just say workstation power in a thin and light. Lenovo doing it right with both the 14 and 16-inch models. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled for updates and full reviews on both this and its little brother, because right now these are tough to beat. Don't know what pricing is going to be exactly, but as soon as I do know, I, of course, will share it with all of you. But I'm really excited about this, and, of course, again, the 14-inch model. Both just have really impressive specification sheets, and then the looks to match, so there's not a lot to dislike about them. Battery life may be the only Achilles, but you have to remember we have GPUs on board, so you cannot expect 9 or 10 hours of battery life from machines like this, at least not here in 2023. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them, hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.